Hello everyone, XIlyana here. Musician, human rights activist, transgender icon, Two-Spirit, Native American First Nation First People, environmentalist. Another day in LA, another day of PTSD. I am not sleeping at all. I constantly have to deal with my trauma, my trauma from being sexually abused by the United States Air Force. And currently I'm dealing with some pretty terrible burns because just talking about it was too much for me. It was too much. So I harmed myself. I really need to seek medical help. So this is going to be a very quick kind of podcast because I should go to the hospital in order to have this treated properly. Thank you, Steve Rock. I appreciate you coming to this channel and supporting veterans. I'm a veteran of America and I don't have my disability benefits. With my disability benefits, I don't know, I could probably have a house, maybe a farm, maybe raise some livestock, at least grow some vegetables. And right now I live in Los Angeles where I don't do anything. I don't go outside, I don't talk to people. That's not a life. Hi Braden, welcome to my channel. Hi Yablo. Hi everyone. Thank you all for coming in. Hello from Mexico, hello from Los Angeles. Bienvenidos a mi canal. Daddy chill. Thank you. That made me smile. I am more of, I guess, a pagan, kind of like Clint. You know, I believe in hedonism. I believe in the joy of your body, about living in your skin and dancing in the moonlight naked, that kind of thing. I don't believe in, you know, any sort of guilt or whatever. I mean, if it harms none, do as thou will. I'm a witch. Thanks, I guess. Hi, Mark. Muy bien tu español. Le agradezco. Le agradezco. Gracias. Yo necesito practicando mi español porque no hablas con mis vecinos en mi ciudad. You're a wizard, Harry. I am a magic user. Unfortunately, I am always injuring myself, so it'll be a rough one. Hi, Linda. How are you? Oh my goodness, so many people are so nice today. Angela, hello. Hello there, Radcliffe. Trying to get to as many people as possible. Hassan, hello. Mied, hello. Oh, hello, everyone. I was just speaking with Clint Gage, who is just a wonderful YouTuber and podcaster and always has such insightful words about what's going on in society. He brought me on his channel to talk about how President Trump is going after food stamps now. I should feel bad about that because I'm a person who's not eating right now. But I don't. I don't because it doesn't go to the heart of the issue. The heart of the issue has always been Americans don't have any money. They're poor. If they actually had money, they wouldn't need food stamps. If they had gardens and farms of their own, they wouldn't need food stamps. And right now, he's dismantling this government program, but you could always replace it with a community one. My community is pretty transphobic, but it's also a community that knows that the people who live here are struggling. So they actually have open food pantries. They host events, where people can get fruits and vegetables. That's the kind of thing you're supposed to do. Thank you. Good vibes, good vibes. Hello from the other side of the world. What the fuck is that voice? I speak Ian. I'm an Ian who speaks Ian. I can only speak that. Food stamps and welfare doesn't necessarily help the people, but other countries' issues. Now that I have to agree with. Because I got off food stamps. I got off food stamps because I said, I don't want the hassle of my PTSD being triggered. Right now, my PTSD is too triggered to go to that process at all. Some people are starting to be mean again. Must be a day that ends in Y. Hello from Russia. Privet, drug. I live in California, so that's that. I've always spoken this way. It's been 40 years of speaking English as an Englishman because my family's English, not American. Although they're American citizens by now, so I guess you can consider them American, but they weren't always. So, yeah. Oh well. Nice. I'm from California as well. Cool, cool, cool. You sound like Captain Jack Sparrow. Is that a compliment? Because I like Johnny Depp. Isn't Johnny Depp from Kentucky? He is. That reminds me of change.org/Kentucky Needs You. It's a petition I have on my channel. You can look in the description. Kentucky needs people to know that their water is being contaminated, and it's threatened by Senate Bill 89 in the Kentucky State Legislature. And if you would find it in your heart, I know people come into my channel to troll and poke fun at someone who has a weird way of speaking, but could you find it in your heart to help people who are living their best life in a rural community and want fresh drinking water on their own land? Could you maybe sign that petition so I can start sending them water, start sending them relief? That would be nice. That's change.org/Kentucky Needs You. If anybody wants to help out in America, because a lot of people don't. Hi, Prime. Welcome back. I'm a First Nation, Native American, Indigenous person. I live my life as an Indigenous person. I don't have to be more masculine or manly to impress anyone. I am a shaman of a tribe of one. These earrings are part of my heritage. I wear them with pride. Native American with a British accent. It's not as strange as you think. There was a time when Native Americans and British people, they kind of commingled. They married, whatnot. And that's kind of what happened with my family, except both my parents are Native American. But my father was Native American and British, so I am too. Indigenous person, you mean Celtic? That is actually, I know when people think about indigenous people, they think, you know, brown-skinned native people or aboriginals, but Celtics are indigenous people. My fellow YouTuber, Clint, is an indigenous person. He doesn't really consider himself that way, he just considers himself a Viking. But even putting on the armor, carrying around his axe, using it as part of his physical regimen, that's an indigenous thing. So he's indigenous. Hi, Dre. Thank you. You sound northern. Thank you. Well, if I sound northern, it's because of my father, so I guess you'd have to ask him where, you know, he came from, whatever. How are you? I am in pain. I am in pain. During that live, I burned my hand. I burned my hand because I was having a PTSD flare-up. So that's that. You know, I really should see a doctor about it and tell them that I had a PTSD flashback and ended up burning my hand. Thank you for the compliments. I like being an attractive person to myself at the very least. But yeah, I prefer to live my life. I'm a disabled veteran, you know. I don't have to be pretty, I don't have to be handsome, I just have to be Ian. And Ian is a person who wears Aztec earrings. That's all. You a veteran? Yes, I am a veteran. I'm an Air Force veteran. I always speak this way. I'm always Ian. And Ian speaks in Ian. That's all. I get it. Chinese are indigenous to China. I guess that's a slightly reductive way of thinking about it. What I'm referring to are the people who are more in touch with nature and a more natural way of living. And when I say natural, I mean they're farmers. They're people who live in reality as opposed to people who live in cities. And I live in a city right now, and I'm miserable because of it. I'm just absolutely miserable. We got a lot of people in my channel. Chris, I appreciate you saying that. Post-war. Hello, everyone. I love it. Hope you're in love. I want to be in love. I want to date. I want to date. I'm talking to a few guys online. I can't believe I'm doing online dating. That's just weird. When you do online dating, it just means that you don't have the courage to do it outside. And that sucks. Because every time you say, well, there's no one out there, there's plenty of people out there. You just stop looking, or you're not looking in the right places. I'm a nerd. I want to date a fellow nerd. I should be going to a D&D gaming store, Dungeons and Dragons, or a Warhammer hobby store. I would love to go to that and, I don't know, start talking to some hot guys there, because there are nerds who are so hot that it would make your eyeballs melt. So hot. And no one's talking to them, no one's dating them, and I would love to. I would definitely love to. All right. Let me see if you're a nerd or herd. That's funny. Grinder app. I should do Grinder, but I don't know. I didn't really like the guys on Grinder. I don't really like the guys in my neighborhood, which it sucks because I've said it in my channel several times. I live on a reservation. They don't consider it a reservation. It's a fucking reservation. When you're surrounded by brown people and when the government says you have to live in this particular town because that's where the brown people live, you live on a reservation. So yeah, I live on a reservation and there are gay people here. There are people who are interested in guy on guy action. And the only problem is I'm not interested in any of them. Not in the slightest. Grinder is dangerous. You know, online dating itself is pretty dangerous. But so is loneliness. I have PTSD from military sexual trauma, and because of that, I have to scream all the time. I'm always injuring myself, and I haven't had someone give me a hug in years. That's years of being without human touch, being without feeling anything. I must be the weekend right now because I can't feel my face when I'm with you. I have to put some more ice on my hand because it's just been injured. That's what life is right now. Oh, that'll do. Thank you. Ugh. How is everyone? You know, I try so hard to live in America. I try to live in an America that I can be proud of. But America's hurting right now, and this is a wake-up call. It's a huge wake-up call for all of us. Find out what matters to you and protect it. Are you talking about the issue because you are a former serviceman? I'm going to correct your English there. Is everyone okay? No, I think people in America are in pain. I'm in pain because I just burned my hand on the stove because I was having a PTSD flashback talking to Clint. But I think people in America are in constant pain and no one is addressing it. We cover up our pain with buying things. We cover up our pain with eating junk food. We don't talk about pain in America. And we should. We should talk about how it feels to live in this world, to not be able to have anyone you can really count on, have anyone that loves you. What is love in this modern age where people stare into cell phones like I'm staring into a cell phone right now. Is that love? I mean, I guess I love myself, but it's not the same. It's not the same as having someone tell you you're really beautiful or I love you. And maybe I watch way too many Hallmark movies, but I want to be someone. I'm a musician, so good luck trying to find love when you're a musician. Long live King Trump. I don't disagree with you. Anthony, hello. My mother passed away, so she loved me. And now I'm pretty much alone because my PTSD drove my family away. In this foreign city where my PTSD is just getting worse, it's not getting better. I have to seek medical help. I have to get my disability benefits. Do you like Judas Priest? I like metal music, and I like that Ian Halford is a gay man. And people like a gay rocker. And I make rock music, well, power punk pop. But do you like Ozzy Osbourne? Everyone likes Ozzy Osbourne. Sharon! Everyone likes Ozzy Osbourne. Oh my god. I miss the ability to just be a regular person, to do things that I used to be able to do. I mean, this is the prime of my life, and I'm sharing it with all of you. So thank you for sharing it back with me. But I live in California, and I don't go to the beach. What kind of Californian doesn't go to the beach? How lame is that? Anxiety that gets in the way of everything, a huge burden. 2 out of 1 Kiwi. Hi. Hello, everyone. Sorry I don't get to your comments. I'm sorry to hear your parents passed away, Alicia. I'm sorry about that. And thank you for the love, Ankino. Thank you. I appreciate all of you. You know, it's been a long journey here on YouTube. On YouTube, I've had to deal with a lot of bullies. I've had to deal with a lot of criticism for being a transgender YouTube streamer. But I've also received a lot of love and support from all of you. And I guess today I'm going to say I'm grateful. I'm grateful that there are still decent people out there somewhere. It makes me feel happy. Let's check on her then. So, my name is XIlyana, and I'm the Ian, and this is the XIlyana. She's amazing. Every time that I'm upset, this girl is right here. Love this girl. And she loves scratches. I love my doggo. My doggo is the best. And she is absolutely beautiful. She's a beautiful girl. And she's very caring, you know. When it comes to caring for a veteran, that's my service animal. I can't expect a human to put up with all of this, which is probably why I'm single. Outfit check. I don't know if you saw it in the last one, but here's what I'm wearing. All right, let me just flip it. Here we go. So yeah, I'm a person who wears a leather jacket and a Scottish kilt because that's kind of my style. I'm a Native American and also a British person at the same time, and an American at the same time, and very Asian. I'm a mix. I'm a mix because I think if you want to be an ambassador, you have to be more flexible about world culture. You have to be able to live within multiple worlds. You have to be able to speak to people from a place of understanding. And most ambassadors, they live in such a narrow world. It's time to expand that. Does someone actually call me fat? I'm like 120 pounds right now. You consider 120 pounds fat? For what? Am I like a model for Michael Kors or Banana Republic? I'm 120 pounds. How is that fat? Wow, people here are so judgmental. Do you smoke weed? No, I prefer edibles. Everyone is different. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm 190 and 54. Good for you. Wow. Are you saying that because you want to kiss me? Are you saying that because you fancy me? Because you think I'm attractive? That my bottom lip is a big juicy lip? I'm a really good kisser, and my bottom lip is extremely soft and flirty. So if you're looking at it, I think you like me, and that's okay. I don't know if you're a guy or a girl. I don't really care. I'm bisexual. So if you find me attractive, that's cool. That's cool. Oh, you're 5'4". I'm like, you're a bit heavy for people in their 50s, but whatever. I'll give you something for them lips. Now, if you're gonna talk that way, I'm gonna get all hot and blush. I am a dark-skinned person, but I will blush. Wow, that is some cheek on you. Okay. I like having a platform where I can talk to people about real issues. And you think something like change.org/genius to Mars is a flight of fancy, it's science fiction, but it's reality. And in this reality, the Earth is being damaged by pollution. For some reason, we have stopped globally. We're not building new cities. We're not using the technology that we have to its utmost effect. If we took the time to build brand new cities, we would be healthier. We would be stronger as nations. I have a petition, change.org/clear LA smog. It's a petition I have to just change the construction materials that they use in roads. Because when a road has a pothole, they send out an entire construction crew, they shut down the street, and then they do a terrible job repairing a pothole that they know is just going to make a brand new pothole 6 months down the road. And it keeps American jobs, but if you hit a pothole with your car, it's just going to ruin your exhaust system. So more carbon monoxide and other petrol fumes are just going to go out into the atmosphere. Should we live that way? I don't think we should. I think we should instead consider just changing the roads. I can't ask any people to change from a gas guzzling car to electric if you don't want to. If you don't want to, fine, whatever. But let me just change the roads. I see people walking their kids to school, but how can you be a real parent and not notice that when you walk alongside the road is crawling down your kid's throat? Every bit of smoke, every bit of smog is affecting their lungs. Don't you care? Change.org/clear LA smog, because I want to make that a national program. And then I want to take that international, because there's no reason why in any modern city, if you have to have a road, it has to be such poor material that it damages your car, costing you money and also costing you health. I've been a roofer union for 15 years, now broke as a joke. I streamed on Twitch for 2 years and made some good money. It's sick how ass backwards life is. I feel you on what you're talking about there. You know, you can give your life to an institution and it can just leave you bankrupt. I joined the military because I believe in America and I wanted to make a difference. And I thought that if I joined the military, I was joining a somewhat honorable group that would allow me to be able to be a hero to my community, to show them that you have to stand up to injustice. You have to open up your mouth and use your American freedom. You have a freedom of speech, and a lot of us, they don't use it. You talk about Twitch streaming, that's a platform. You know, you think you're just playing a video game, but these people are listening to you. They're hearing what you say, and that has an effect. You have an effect on other people. You have power. Don't let anyone take that away from you. I subjugated myself going into the military because I said that there are some fundamental truths that they're going to teach me. And all they taught me was that the cruelest people are always the closest to you. I was injured. I was on crutches around that time, and Master Sergeant Miranda sexually abused me while I was reading a calculus textbook. And this was someone who outranked me. This was someone who had climbed through the ranks and was most likely put down for being a woman, put down for her very gender. And she had an opportunity to get a little payback, and she chose to sexually abuse me, sending me to the hospital. And to this day, I'm affected by it, which is why I have a burned hand today. I'm gonna get to some of these comments. Don't mind me moving back and forth. I'm trying to triage something by myself so I can still maintain nerve function in my fucking hand. I'm more concerned with the gases in animal agriculture. You should be. Cow farts burned a hole in the ozone layer. That is wild. But there is so much methane gas coming from them. It did that. You do not estimate that any lower than what it really is. The way that we interact with food, the way that we interact with animals, it has to change. I'm all for eating meat, and I say that as a vegan, mostly vegan. I just think that you should appreciate and know where your animals come from, whether or not they're being ethically treated up until the point where you eat them. Because you don't want to eat misery. Misery has a taste. All right. Who are you asking? The smoker, or are you asking the parent? When I made that previous analogy, I was just speaking in general. Like I said, I don't have any skin in this game. I don't have any kids, but I wouldn't want the kids in America to have ruined lungs. Who wants to be next to an asthmatic? They wheeze. Give me your milk money. Whatever. Health in America should matter to you. Even if you don't know these people, they're your neighbors. When you fantasize about owning a car of yourself, for yourself one day, you should think about the effect that car has on everybody else. It's not just your car. If it was, then we wouldn't have such terrible carbon levels as we do here. And we do have some terrible carbon levels. And it doesn't help that I live in a city like LA where they set fire to things. And Woodman, thank you for saying that. But if you really want to thank a veteran, I would say go to my petition, change.org/Save American Veterans, because what we need is a tax in order to pay veterans directly. Because right now, veterans have to go through the VA, and the VA would rather pay employees. They would rather hire veterans to tell other veterans no. And that hurts. That hurts. Because I'm a veteran that can't go outside. I can't go to the movies. I missed Thunderbolts. I've never missed a Marvel film. But I couldn't afford it. You know, Florence Pugh and Sebastian Stan and David Harbour and all the rest of that cast, they put in 110% for that film, and I can't support them. I was ragging on Captain America Brave New World, but at least these people are trying to say something. They're trying to speak about what's going on in America. I have to support that, but I can't support it with my money. So that's sad. I lived close to a highway and I got burning gas mouth smell, no joke. You need to seek help. You need to seek help. You know, you think that it's convenient, and a lot of people do this when they're shopping for a flat or an apartment or something like that. They think that, oh, well, I want to be right by the buses. I want to be right by the train. Oh, if you can just put me on, like, right on the bus line, you know, that'll be nice. Or if I can just get on this main road here, if I can be close to the main road. It's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You don't want to be anywhere near it. You want to be as far away as possible, because all of that air that goes into your place is going to be contaminated. Contaminated with smog, contaminated with smoke. And you're not getting oxygen. I'm very lucky that I had the foresight to get some plants, because otherwise I wouldn't have any oxygen. I know, I don't take care of myself. I'm a service-connected disabled Marine vet, and I get nothing. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. But you have to ask yourself, what are you going to do about it? Because as veterans, we are sometimes too polite. We are too polite with the VA. When they tell us no, we just go, instead of saying, you give me my fucking money, you fucking owe me. Get in their fucking face. Or at least I used to, but then the VA turned off my cell phone, so I wasn't able to fucking call them, even though calling them was just as traumatic as anything else, and it was really traumatic for me. It was super fun. I built a small community, and yes, I did have an effect, and they also had an effect on me. It was a great time. I really should just let my hair be. There's some nice people in here today. I'm not gonna. I do now. I have damage in my hands from my PTSD flashback that I had, and I burned my hand because of it. Just great. Another thing that I have to worry about. I'm just gonna be over here for a bit. Hope people don't mind. So while I'm here, I just thought I would take some time to talk to people. My mom is a vet and she doesn't get a damn thing for her service. I agree with you. I'll check it out, what you just said. Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about a lot of money. I'm saying like something like 2 cents to a dollar. 2 cents on the dollar. Like you get $1.99 chicken nugget, whatever, and it would cost you maybe $2.01. So like 2 cents. Like you say to people when they try to give you pennies, keep the change because you don't see that as a real currency. It's a real currency, and that's a currency that veterans could definitely use. In Santa Cruz, California, people are having meltdowns and discomfort about Elon Musk, and they're destroying each other's Teslas. It's comical. I'm inclined to agree with you there. But you have to keep in mind that destruction isn't always the best way to get your message heard. Sometimes, if you really want to speak to people or speak on an issue, you just do better. If you have a problem with a certain person, then what you should do is say, well, I'll build a better fucking electric car. Or in my case, I want to build whole towns where you don't need cars. You just walk to wherever you go or just have it delivered. That makes a lot more sense. The world is doomed. Are you a professional hitchhiker? It might have to come to that because, when I was locked out of my apartment, the first thing they did was try and frighten me with the plane crash. They're like, there was a plane crash in Arizona or some stupid shit like that. And, I had to see it because I'm not the type of person who watches the news or, listens to it in any way. So I wouldn't know about it unless I had to go to the VA and it was just stuck on the screen, which always surprised me because it's supposed to be a hospital and all they do is have news on, which raises your blood pressure. You would think that in a hospital they would just have nothing but Enya playing, just spa music, and I don't know. Maybe I do not fit in America at all. I'm hearing the words that come out my mouth and I say, that's not a place in America. That's a place in like Japan that I'm thinking about. Oh, wow. Some people want to be really racist. You want to call me a nappy-haired person. Wow. Ouch, bro. Ouch. That's all I got to say. Pole smoker. The best plant is aloe vera because it requires the least amount of water and it's hard to mess it up. You can forget about it for weeks and the aloe vera is like, I'll put out brand new leaves. Thank you for leaving me alone. Dude called you a pole smoker. I suck dick. Don't call me a pole smoker. Call me a cocksucker. Call me a cocksucker because yeah, that's what you do. And don't think for a second you don't want yours done. Everybody does. So whatever. I'm a service member benefit specialist and work with veterans. Anyone can reach out to me and I'll connect you with benefits. Thank you, Kat, for trying to help people. It's been 7 years of fighting with the VA. 7 years of fighting with the VA. 7 years that I could have spent traveling the world. I could have spent on a farm, raising a family. I could have I could have spent it helping people with health. I'm a doctor, but I don't have my medical education because these people won't pay me. I hate that. I hate exhaust smells. You should. That's your body telling you that it's not good for you. Veteran March on Washington, June 6th. I did not know that. KAS. I want to say thank you for your sacrifice, and I would sign your petition. Please, I would appreciate that. If you go into the description for my channel, there are several descriptions of petitions that affect people who need your help. I talk about veteran issues, and I understand that the world is more than just veterans. So there are several petitions there, and all of them need your help. Woodman, you make your mind up for you. I don't care. As far as I can tell, I have published my decision letter of being diagnosed with PTSD by Veteran Affairs, therefore forever proving that I am a veteran. So if you want, you can just listen to my music. If you want proof. Other than that, I ain't got shit for you. I don't have to prove anything. I served America, and that's that. And yes, I served America with a funny little British accent, and that's who I am. You thought about going to Britain? I have thought about it. I think about going to Scotland every minute of every day. Going to Scotland and living the best life ever. Like, you don't even know. You don't even know. Like, it's a whole fucking town. Yes, Scotland, the whole town. It's a whole country of fucking huge, burly powerlifters. Highland Games, the Stortman brothers. I know that they're straight, but oh my lord, I want them so badly. Because they're just big, chunky, meaty fucking guys who are fucking gorgeous. Gorgeous. And here I am, I'm stuck in LA. I live on a reservation where no one is fuckable here, except for me. And I would rather live in Scotland where the men wear kilts. This beautiful piece of fabric, and it is so windy there, and you can see a bum every fucking second. Everyone is showing bums, everyone's showing the little bits, and guess what? Nobody gives a shit. You laugh and you giggle at it. You giggle and you just say, it feels good to be a man. It feels good to have your fucking genitals fucking out all the fucking time, and nobody gives a fucking shit. You know why? Because your body is beautiful, and in America, they teach you to be shamed. Your body is shameful. Your genitals are fucking shameful. I'm not fucking ashamed of fucking anything. I'm ashamed that these people are so fucking cowardly that they don't have the balls to wear what a Scotsman does. So yeah, I fantasize about getting my fucking disability benefits so I can move directly to Scotland and just live a fucking great life. Because sometimes when the wind blows and a Scotsman might grow all the way, like full on erection, and I am down for it. I'm down for living in a fucking sexually liberated country like that, where it is so cold at night and you need something to heat you up. And I am that fucking hot fire. Like, honestly, You want the BBC? I give you that BBC. I want Scotland. I don't want LA. I want Scotland. Good grief. What the fuck is wrong with America that they can't just let a disabled veteran have their Barbie fantasy of living in a whole country filled with himbos, filled with hunky, salt of the earth kind of men? That's what I want. Uh, you have every right to fill out a Freedom of Information Act and request that document directly from the American government. I am a private citizen. I'm not required to identify myself in any way. I did it because I wanted to show people that you have to fight this hypocrisy of the American government to rip you apart and then discard you like a toy soldier, and then not give you disability benefits that you need. Vanderbilt, you have to just roll with the trolls sometimes, because you can call me names like that, but being homosexual or bisexual is nothing to be ashamed of. If you want to call me a cocksucker, I'm like, thank you. Well, you know how good I am. You know how good I am. Thank you as I play with my lips, my juicy lips. Well, not that juicy because I'm really dehydrated. As I lick my lips. All right. Glad we can all toss our differences aside and just chit chat on some BS. Love you all. Look, you chose to spend your afternoon or evenings with me, a disabled veteran. Even if you're rude to me, you still chose to hang out with me. So, I don't know. The VF Veterans of Foreign Wars is funded by a foundation and has not been impacted by federal funding cuts. Not paying a veteran is a fucking crime. And I have my records. If you want them, go fill out a Freedom of Information Act and ask for them. Because why? You need to learn that as a skill. So come at me, bro. Come at me, bro. Because you don't like the fact that a British person was more brave than you American fuckers. And I say American fuckers, I'm talking about civilians that would rather sit on their ass while heroes get up every single day and they join the military. So you can say whatever, and where's your VA card? I don't have to show you shit. Do you understand me? I don't have to show you anything. If you want it, Freedom of Information Act, fill it out. Fill out a document and then ask the American government for that document, because it says everything. Everything, including the fact that I was sent to the hospital because the United States Air Force sexually abused me. So please, fill out a Freedom of Information Act letter and send it to your government. Vanderbilt, 10 years is a long time. Absolutely worth it. you think that way, but what about your time? Isn't your time worth something? Because the time that I'm spending fighting this, I'm also literally trapped on a reservation where, as a transgender person, I am under attack. When I could easily have my disability benefits and have a house or a tent, as I told Clint. As much as I would like a house, I'll take a tent, because you know what a tent says? It's my space. I don't want to live in an apartment building. I don't want to live around other people. I have PTSD. I don't want to be near other people. I have to keep going in my fucking refrigerator to find something cold to put on my burned hands, which I burn because I have PTSD. I don't want to live near other people. So I know that 10 years doesn't seem like a blink of the eye, and for a Native American person, it really is a blink of the eye, because we don't age that fast. So I get that, but what about the quality of life? I mean, Thunderbolts may not have been Oscar worthy. I still wanted to fucking see it. I like Marvel films. I can't believe I couldn't afford a Marvel film. That's some bullshit. I live in America and I can't afford a fucking movie ticket? Whatever. Woodman, I don't have to show anybody anything. I own a VA card. I go to the VA. California knows that I've gone to the VA. California sends me VA mail. I tell you what. Because you people are such fucking jerks, let me just do a little of this. Oh, look at that. What is that? Is that addressed to me? Is that addressed to me? It is. So go fuck yourself. Now what you got to say? Now what you got to say? What you got to say, you fucking lazy prick? What the fuck do you have to say, you lazy prick? Did you serve? Did you fucking serve? No, you didn't. I served. You want to fucking question me? You've got some balls on you. You've got some balls. But I love you anyway. So talk your shit. Talk your shit. That a Brit had to go to fucking war while you did shit. You sat on your fat ass and you ate your fucking Doritos. Cheetos. Little orange fingers. While men and women every day with funny little accents did the man's work. So, yeah. Anyone else got to say some shit? Anyone? I didn't think so. Go fuck yourselves. I want to, and Kina, I want to go to the United Kingdom. The only problem is, it's like $1,000 for a plane ticket. $1,000. I can't afford that. If I can't afford that, I'm fucking going there. But $1,000 just to ride a plane. And I know that, they got to pay for the fuel and, you're not the only person who wants it, so there's a demand. Whatever. I can't afford it. But at least if I moved there, I probably wouldn't burn my fucking hands dealing with PTSD from women trying to jump out the bushes. Like, I have a real fear of being raped after being sexually abused. Oh well. The VA does less foot dragging when the call comes from a congressional office. Uh, Kat, if you want, you can email me. I know I'm a little all over the place right now, so please, my email is XIlyana at gmail.com. So if you want to email me there, that'd be nice. It only took 10 minutes to see who you really are. You mean taking 10 minutes to reach over to a government document that proves that I'm a veteran? Ah, whatever. And if I lost people for that little angry tirade, you were never fans to begin with. So, be gone. Be gone. I won't even bother trying to edit your comments or, time you out for being in the chat. Guess what? I'm just going to leave you right there because you're just miserable wastes of space, but you can be miserable wastes of space right here where I can fucking see you. They don't know me. They don't have to know me. These people who are on the internet and keynote XIlyana for president. I'm eligible for president. With my funny little British accent, I'm eligible to be your president, and I would actually be a very good one. Why? Because I'm more patriotic than most people, because I don't sugarcoat the bullshit. America is a junkyard. America is a junkie. If you're not addicted to junk food, you're addicted to porn, or you're addicted to video games, or you're addicted to shopping online, you're just addicts. And that's what happened to America. America just became a giant rehab clinic where people relapse and they're broke all the time and they're party, as Clint was saying earlier, and not, I need to focus on real things. If the government shuts down, where does the food come from? If you can't have food delivered to your supermarkets, where does your food come from? Like, do people think that way in America? Do they need to? Do they need to have environmental protections like change.org/Kentucky needs you? My petition to protect the water supply for rural Eastern Kentucky. And doesn't seem like anybody's listening to that. Doesn't seem like anybody cares that Americans have to deal with contaminated water, but whatever. All this is so weird. It's weird, I guess, but it's also, that's what life is. Americans are under this illusion because they watch television that everyone comes from Boston or New York. And that there are no other cities, there are no other towns, there are no other countries. But because you watch television, you think everyone is from New York or Boston. And I hate to burst your little bubbles, but there are other countries out there. And sometimes those countries have people who say, well, fuck it, I'll go to America. And they raise kids, and those kids, they learn where they come from, not just where they live. Oh well. Bro, excuses for everything. That hurts, bro. That hurts. I don't mean weird in a bad way. I'm just absolutely blazed. Are you smoking that good stuff? Are you a sativa fan or indica? Because sativa is that body high. Indica is the way to go. ignore the jerks. I do all the time. You know, it's really easy to have it in your head that when people are rude to you online, it means anything. Even though I was angry there for a second, I wasn't angry. I just wanted to refer people to that permanently. Permanently. Because Americans get so... There's someone who speaks another fucking language. There's someone who speaks in an accent. Oh, there's other people out in the world. Fuck you, people. Just fuck you for that. That's all. Nobody wants to hear you talk circles about nothing and call this a content. I don't know. I have been talking in circles about change.org/Kentucky needs you. It's my personal petition to protect the water rights of rural Americans. And I can do this all day. That's something I will continue to talk about, and I'll stay on here as long as it takes to get signatures, to make sure that the people of Kentucky can trust what comes out their faucet. So it's not really content, it's a humanitarian plea. So... I think you got a cute accent. Thank you. Thank you. I'm an Ian who speaks Ian. Whatever that is. Some people say it's an English accent. I say I think it's more of an Aussie than English. Or it's definitely Northern. It's definitely that. Go get a job, you sparkling wiggles. You people are fucking hilarious. Of course I'm gonna bring up that fucking YouTube video. Oh my god. You start early when you start instilling racism in your fucking kids. Wow. Go get a job. Bum. I've got a lovely one. And I'm very single. So if you're a straight man who wants to, you know, teach it a lesson by pumping really, really hard into it, I'm really okay with that. As long as I get mine, you can get yours. Okay, cool. Be kind, rewind. Broke boy with an eye. Boy with an eye. Are you on that spectrum? Broke boys are kind of fucking sexy. I hate to admit it, but homeless guys in LA are actually more attractive. They are dirty as fuck, but their skin is usually kind of beautiful. They are, like, I saw one guy, he had like hip length hair, and I don't know what the fuck he got into, but someone like completely like ruined him. But he's a model. He's a model, and no one fucking said anything. Like, he should have been told he was beautiful, and maybe he wouldn't be on the street. Like, what is going on in this city? Like, there's so many beautiful people here, and you don't even fucking give them a chance. Whatever. Where are you from? I'm from LA. I live in Los Angeles. We all go through hard times. I've worked hard my whole life, but you got to keep your head up, man, and get through it. Joplin. How many people are saying that? How many people are saying that if I just work overtime, I'll be able to afford the life of my dreams? Is it the life of your dream to not be able to sleep? To sacrifice your health? To make a few extra bucks? which you would probably make if you just chose a different job, where you could maybe get some sleep as well. Scone with jam and cream with cup tea. Do not get me started. I don't know how people can do like a regular life without tea, without scones, without just taking a moment to collect and relax. Tea time is more than just a snack break. It is a time to re-energize your soul. I'll email you, love. Thank you, Connor. Thank you so much. It's just with the chat going and everything, it's hard to focus. But if you know of any way, because I tried to reach out to my senator when I was living in New York, and they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. But I need to get my disability benefits. I can't keep banging my head and running into poles and burning my hand just because I have a PTSD flashback. That's stupid. I should live by myself and have less PTSD triggers. Or maybe live in a town where I could be myself without worrying about someone groping me in public or raping me. I love your voice. I love you. I love you. I'm going through hard times as well. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that you're having hard times. And if I could do anything to help, let me know, because I talked in this channel a lot about my problems, but it's not about me. It's about us. When you change me to us, it opens up so many doors. So if there's a way I can help you, let me know. They already have a black Doctor Who. He's going to regenerate soon. And spoiler alert. First trans president. That would be awesome. I think so too. You know, Trump has less than 3 years in office, and then I don't think he can even run again. So that means they don't have anyone really to replace him. I could run as a Republican, because I say don't call me a Republican, but I guess I'm more of a libertarian in that regard. I believe in American civil liberties, but I also believe in defending the border. And I mean, as much as I have a fancy little British accent, I do believe in doing security checks of people who come into this country. I think if you come into this country, you should be free. You should be facing a certain level of scrutiny, but also a level of respect. And you can do both. I think something like immigration is a conversation that you continually have in the government, always changing and evolving. Entertainment, nobody listens to you, cares about you. You're right. Well, listen to yourself. If you are unhappy, maybe that's telling you something. I mean, I just burned my hand on the stove. You know what that's telling me? It's telling me that I am deeply depressed. I'm angry, and Los Angeles is not helping. It's not helping. Did you report the person who called me a nappy-headed, person? Because that's clearly racism. Is that the reason why we're broke? Over consumerism? I think so. I think it's because we don't know the value of community. When you don't have the value of community, you lose the value of yourself. You're only as strong as the people around you. Some people choose to be alone. Wow. I am all about making messes. But I thought I'd spend some time with my girl. I lived in Tennessee in the Bible Belt and I love the land, but everyone is stuck in the matrix. We call it that. And the matrix looks like numbers to people. When you look at a computer screen, you see pixels. You don't see the zeros and the ones that cause that. You don't think of it as it's a math equation that keeps you in place. Which is why I'm on YouTube. You know, I'm on YouTube to invite people to talk about that work-life balance, talk about getting back out there. Would water filters help? In some cases, yes. In other cases, it's more of you really need to treat the water completely and not just filter. I mean, filter is, you know, good for some things, but some things are just way too aqueous and you really have to treat the entire water. So you have to do a bit more. Could be a model. I don't know. That seems to be an important issue for most people. Beauty, things like that. Most Americans can't tell the difference between productivity and slavery. This is why I do my channel, because you have brilliant people who come in and they just drop knowledge. That is knowledge there. Everyone pay attention to that. River Crab is absolutely right. Jobs in America are going away. A lot of people are becoming unemployed and they don't realize that being a public speaker, being a commentator on YouTube it's a calling. It's not a job, it's a calling, because people refuse to use their American freedoms. They refuse to use the freedom of speech. And I know the freedom of speech is something that's mostly guaranteed in countries today, not just America, but in America, it means a little something different, because you live in an authoritative state. You live in a totalitarian government. You have a bunch of people who tell you what you can do with your body. You know, they tell you what foods you can eat, what drugs you can use. You know, they tell you everything, but they're not giving you anything in return. You just give up your power, and I refuse. You know, I'm a native person. You know, I prefer to live a native life. I prefer to be true to what's inside of me. It's unconstitutional to run a third term. Guess what? I guess I'm on that campaign trail then. I had to move away from my family to take a job where I can support them. It hurts being away from my family. Joplin, I'm going to say something that, you know, you probably think to yourself and, you know, you're afraid to say out loud, but I'll say it for you because you need to hear it. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You took that because of many other reasons, but you can't say that it was for them. because there was always that option to stay. And you chose differently for another reason. And you need to do some soul searching because something pulled you away. And it can't be because of money. It can't be because of whatever benefits a job can offer you. The best benefit a job can sometimes offer you is to fire you. Because when they fire you, you realize that they didn't value you and that you didn't have to pretend anymore. When the Air Force discharged me honorably, that was the one chance I had to be a part of America. And America said, we don't want you. We don't want you to the point that we will sexually abuse and almost rape you. That's how much we want to show that you're not wanted. So if that's the case, you know, I'm upset. I'm very upset at that, but I'm also aware, and I'm aware that I would have been unhappy if I climbed up all those ranks. I climbed up and I was just a meat sponge for some person. I was just a punching bag for some person. I was just a joke. Because when I came out of the military, a lot of people, they love to say, thank you for your service. But thank you for your service doesn't mean shit to me when I am starving and you go back to your house. You put your hand to the stove to see if it still bleeds and nothing hurts anymore. You feel kind of free. It is too. I'm in Los Angeles. We're still the kids we used to be. Ian's spoken like a true American. Chat's got to be on an insane delay. It's because I talk and I don't read at the same exact time. And I don't have auto scroll. If I had auto scroll, it would be so not... Why doesn't YouTube have that as a feature? Oh. I broke up with my boyfriend, the bastard. I broke up with my boyfriend. I was dating a guy and he had PTSD as well. And it was like, I have PTSD, you have PTSD, let's have PTSD together. But it was completely destructive because I would have my meltdowns outside and he would have his meltdowns inside. And between the two of us, there was just never any peace. Do you love black people? I think I love all people. I date white guys because, you know, I like to see a darkness entering the light. It's like I'm filling them with evil and semen. Evil. If I had to be told what to eat, I don't want to be here. I don't know if you remember this, but there used to be a supersize at McDonald's. McDonald's used to say, you know what? For like 30 cents, I'll give you some more. I'll give you some more. 30 cents, I'll give you some more. I'll give you some more French fries. I'll give you a little bit more soda. 30 cents, I'll give you some more. And you know what? If you paid for it as an American citizen, that was always your right. And a lot of people were saying, oh, the nutritional value. You're already eating McDonald's. You're already eating McDonald's. Let's pull the bullshit aside. You're already eating McDonald's. If you pay for more, you should get more. Because when I go to McDonald's, and I still go to McDonald's on occasion, and I ask for something like a fry or you know, some chips, whatever. I have to say fries because, you know, they're so thin, you know, it's not proper chips. Proper chips are like thick, steak cut, not julienne. So, It is a completely different animal here. Completely different. But either way, you know what they do? They give me half of, and I love how in all the advertisements it's the fries sticking out and everything and it's overflowing with it. In real life they give you half and then they want full price for it. So I say that's not good commerce. Like, if I pay for a certain ounce of food, that's what I paid for. Like, you can't give me less. I thought Trump was making America great again. He's making America great for himself and his brain. Look, I am not President Trump's personal protector. I'm just someone who understands what he's doing. He is systematically dismantling America so people wake up. He is unplugging people from a machine and saying, are you still human? Do you understand how great that is, that he's asking people, are you still human? Because right now, we have been seduced. We've been seduced by Apple. We've been seduced by AMC theaters. We've been seduced into not caring about each other, not caring about our bodies. It's really easy to be on Instagram when you're a fitness model. It's a lot harder to be on Instagram when you're a mother with 2 kids. Because you'll be seeing a lot of beautiful people and know that you never have the time to do so. And the more time you spend staring at these beautiful people, the less time you have to spend on going to the gym or going for a walk or going to the salon and getting your hair done. Like, I desperately need to. Like, good grief. Give me my disability benefits so I can at least afford conditioner. Did you apply for disability? Yeah, I have. I've been fighting with the VA for 7 years. XIlyana, are you a lost angel? Sometimes I feel that way. Sometimes I feel like the goodness I have inside is too much to bear. But then I think there's also people who ignore the suffering of others. And I don't think that's me. I don't live in Kentucky, but I'm going to keep fighting for them. Change.org/Kentucky needs you. It's a petition I have to protect the water rights of Eastern Kentucky people who have Senate Bill 89 adding environmental protection erosion to their lives. It threatens their water safety. Please consider signing that petition. Change.org/Kentucky needs you. Great Britain loves you. I hope they love me enough to send me a plane ticket. Or if you can go into my Cash App or sign up for Patreon so I can afford a plane ticket to come to the United Kingdom. Because America is not getting the best of me. But I think Scotland might. I think if I move to Scotland as a wizard, I might actually be more comfortable. There was this lovely news article about some shamaness going through the town blessing it. And of course it was a person of color. And it's, look at this odd person, but I don't know. I think that'd be something I would do. I would definitely do that. I would walk through Scotland and just bless it. Cast protection spells everywhere and bless them with fertile lands and, you know, virile wood. Would you like to supersize that? I think so. I like it. I like the idea that for 30 cents you got more. And that McDonald's says, look, we like you. You're our customer. We're not going to give you less. We're going to give you more. We're going to give you a lot more. Because what you really should be doing is saying, well, fuck it. I'll just buy another large fry or I'll buy another medium fry, but it's 30 cents. Whatever. People need to eat. You know, I talk about junk food all the time and how it's not good for you. You need to eat. You need to eat. You know, just nutrition is important. You need to have food in your body. I do not eat because I'm poor. Just eat. I look like a Lego figure. Oh my God. My hair is so bad right now. Oh, don't make me self-conscious about it. I already feel terrible. I already feel terrible. Don't be rude. You be eating KFC though. Oh. Trump is not human. Care and Trump should never be in the same sentence. Janelle, it's easy to hate someone when you don't understand what they're trying to do. We've lived in a country that has become a vampire. America was alive, it died, and it came back, and it wants to eat your brains. America is a zombie nation. They even had a show called Dead City, and you fuckers didn't even get the joke. The joke was on you. AMC came up with Dead City as a joke on all of you. And you didn't get it as a joke. You didn't get it, that they were laughing at you. That when you watch your zombie shows and you say, oh, look at that zombie, ha, 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 ha. That's you. That's you. Every time you walk around and you say, can I have Big Mac? Can I have a Coke? Chomp, 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 chomp. And you just slack-jawed fucking zombies. You're not having conversations. You sit and you chew like fucking cows with your mouths open. It's a joke. It's a huge joke. And guess what? America's laughing at you. It's a zombie nation. I never said the word hate. You said hate. What are your pronouns? My pronouns are actually they, them. So if you want to refer to me, I prefer they, them. That's all. Leandro! Hello, hello. Vampires trying to control the universe. KAS. Sometimes I wish a bitch would. I wish the vampires would take over and just go further. Because at least vampires are being honest about it. The world is a mess and you need leadership. And the vampires are there to just take it. You think that you're not a vampire, but we're all vampires. We have been weaned off food. Somehow America weaned its people away from food. We eat energy. We're not human. You want to talk about Trump not being human? When was the last time we've had a real conversation with another person? When was the last time that we did something out of complete compassion and empathy? We have lost our humanity and we eat energy. We eat the feeling of having brand new technology near us. Sherry, did I say something that hit a little too close to home? I wish I had, the good stuff, but I don't smoke marijuana. I prefer edibles. Edibles are more psychoactive and, they're better for your body. Although THC is never really that good for your body. Not in high dosages. I'm glad that I can have this conversation with people. I'm sad that I'm injured while having this conversation with people. But I'm glad that someone is finally talking about issues in America and the state of America. Because you don't have this conversation on the news. You don't. You have the conversation of there's crime in America. Or, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are? You don't have a conversation of, well, I keep sending them to this school thing, but I think they're only picking up drugs and that it's okay to be a slut. That's what they're learning. They're not learning math, they're not learning science, they're not learning English, they're not learning anything. It'd be better if you actually closed the schools and just homeschooled your kids. But who has the time? It's like checking on my dog. How you doing, Gil? No. Isn't she the best? Bro, you seem lit. I probably do seem that way. I mean, I still use marijuana. It's the only thing that I use to cope because I have terrible PTSD from being sexually abused by the United States Air Force, and I live in a place where it's legal. Well, technically, it's kind of legal everywhere, but either way, I do what I can to try and keep myself mellow because life in LA is just a huge PTSD trigger. Like, I need a small town. I need a small town. I can't do cities with this level of PTSD. But I'm glad that I can have a conversation with you about what it means to be a veteran living through military sexual trauma. It's difficult. It's difficult for all of us. I just happen to be a very vocal person about it. That's wild, bro. I hope you're okay now. I'm not. I'm not, because with every year it gets worse. Every year I have more PTSD triggers. I posted a whole video where some woman decided she was just going to run up to me and start talking to me. But she kept lunging toward me, and there was nothing I could really do about it because it's a shared space, but whatever. Are you a part of the LGBT community? I'm glad you asked that, Raymond, because I should say yes, but I'm going to have to say no. I'm going to have to say no because I don't think we share the same principles anymore. I don't think we do. Pride Month is coming out, and I actually have a whole Pride album floating around. But Pride Month should be a month of remembrance of the violence against LGBT people. And instead, it's a giant party. You know, Lizzo is going to be playing, Kim Petras is going to be playing, Shy Girl is going to be, playing. You know, you have wonderful artists who are taking time out of their lives to come out and perform on a stage. And the people who go out to see it, they're going to be celebrating that. But do they realize that we are hated in America? That Americans hate us? Do they recognize the danger of gathering together, something that lawful assembly should be protected? It really should. But how many police are going to be taking off and say, you know what, I gotta work a shift protecting the Pride events? How many are doing that? Not enough. Not nearly enough. You think that you're going to a pride event, you're really just going with a target on your back. And I say this because I'm a transgender person who lives in a community of transphobes. And so when I wear a dress or a Scottish kilt or something like that, I'm doing it because I have to live my truth. But my truth is a point of revulsion for so many people, and that can turn to violence in a second. I'm 24, feel like I'm 80, lol, need Wendy's and cheesecake right now. Do not talk to me of food. I haven't eaten properly in weeks. I could use some food right now. Also, I'm so psychologically damaged that I don't know. The last guy I dated, I didn't even have sex with him because it's just not what I physically needed. I needed someone to just hug me and hold me as I cry. And it was not going to be that person. Alicia, I'll order you pizza. Thank you so much. I'm not going to give my address out here, but if you want to donate to my channel, my Cash App is in the description. Also, my Patreon. If you want to sign on as a patron, please let me know. I have some big hopes that if I have enough patrons on my Patreon, I'll start doing some fun things. I'd like to do some giveaways. I'd like to give away some gift cards and maybe even some tech. I'm not guaranteeing this, but I would like to entertain the possibility of giving away maybe a Nintendo Switch. Or maybe like an Apple iTunes gift card or something like that. We should hate billionaires, but we blame LGBT. A bunch of gay men walking down the street holding hands is not taking money out of your wallet. It's not stopping you from having a job. It's not stopping you from having sex with your wife as a heterosexual person. The only person who seems to be doing that are the straight men in power who are making taxes higher and making it harder for people to get home loans, make it harder for people to resist the urge to do overtime because they have the education that they need to have a high enough paying job to live the life they want. And hating billionaires, don't hate billionaires. Billionaires are billionaires because they're billionaires. If you want to be a billionaire, be a billionaire. And instead of hating them, why don't you learn from them? They were people who said, I have an idea, or I have an idea of what an idea could be, and they made something of it. I'm an engineer. I'm a medical engineer. I come up with medical devices all the time. The only problem is I don't have any money, so I never make anything, and therefore I'm not a billionaire. Don't be like me. Be like any of the tech giants who, you know, how they have a dream and they make it happen. Don't hate a billionaire, be a billionaire. That's what I say. I've got blisters on me fingers! Spinal Tap. But I really do. Ow. Alicia being so kind. I'll order you pizza. I love pizza. I know I'm a healthy person and I talk about my health foods and all that and how everyone should eat healthy. There's nothing wrong with having pizza every now and then. Pizza is a perfect food and I will fight you. I will fight you if you tell me different. vegan dolls. You have a problem with everything. You're just sad, but that's okay. Please come to my channel and watch me. Watch me be that person that you wish you could be. You box a little. I used to. I used to actually go over to the VA when I didn't have so many PTSD triggers, and I used to box. A little hand to hand to, keep the body moving, keep the blood pumping. Explain to us again why you have an accent, but you grew up in America and were in the military. Well, my father was British, and he met an American woman. He banged her, and they got married, and they had kids. And did I mention the fact that he was British? Oh, but then I was born on American soil, so I'm eligible to join the military, and because I care about the nation and maybe selfishly just wanted to protect my own family from what I saw were clear and present dangers, I joined the military. Any questions? It's all right. I'm an Ian and I speak Ian. That's all I can really tell you. I've spoken the same way for 40 years. It's not going to change. Like, your attempts to make me more American sounding just didn't take. I would go to school and then I would come home and my father talked like this and I talk like this. My sister is the only one who, I don't know, my sister wanted to be liked. So she's American. My father speaks this way, my mother speaks this way because she loved my father. So, she sounds like my father. But my sister sounded, my mother died. And I had to start using the past tense. Use the past tense on that. My sister bought into America, and so she got sucked into that because she grew up and she thought of herself as, well, I guess I'm American. I live here. I guess I'm American. I live here. I guess I'm American. And that's the roboticization of immigrants. You could say it's melting pot. You can say it's naturalization. There is nothing natural about forgetting where you come from. And I come from Brits. Hello. You have a British accent. I have a New Zealand accent. I'm sorry, not New Zealand. New Zealand. The volume goes up to 11. Having a British father wouldn't give you a British accent. Have you been to Britain? When a seal meets a seal and a seal comes out of that union, that is unnatural. You people are fucking funny. I've never laughed so hard in my life. You make my fucking day. Here I am suffering from PTSD, but then I get to giggle at the stupidity of that. I've never been a weak-minded person, and I'm going to call out America for saying, I pledge allegiance to the flag, and trying to use that as a way to indoctrinate you into consumerism, capitalism, and a false sense of democracy. It just didn't take with me. I looked at that and I said, my father and I, we live a native life at home. We live an indigenous life at home. My father was very adamant about his culture. So, yeah, it just didn't take. I had to look at myself and say, I'm never going to be fucking white enough for people to accept me. I'm never going to be white enough for people to be compassionate about what it means to be a person of color. But I can be myself, and I'm an educated person. And even though I still curse like a fucking sailor, um, I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to pretend to be an idiot. I'm not going to pretend to be any less than. I have an education, and that accent smells of someone who read a book. And if that offends thine ears, I don't know what to tell you, dude. I got a drop of Indian blood in me. Ew. A drop. I probably have less than half a drop. But I'm native on both sides. So I'm full native, just not a part of any tribe. Bro, we all some sort of atom. He never details the military experience. Oh, I detailed the fuck about being sexually abused and sent to the hospital. I mean, if you want to know about face movements or anything else, when I think about my time in the military, it was a lot of bullshit and constantly being reprimanded and being told that I didn't shave enough, and I schooled that motherfucker. Master Sergeant Ramon Jones. I schooled Master Sergeant Ramon Jones of the 105th Airlift Wing that I have testosterone and growing hair is a part of that. And that if you actually timed it, the blood serum level I have of testosterone as a 35-year-old male was enough that I would grow a beard in the time it takes to go from the fucking hotel, Master Sergeant Ramon Jones of the 105th Airlift Wing, to stand in front of you at attention. So, does anyone want me to talk about my experience in the military? I didn't think so. Hi, Motion. Hello, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I'm just having a good old time. There's some people in here who are rude, but they're really funny while they're being rude. So I don't know. I just say, let them be. Let them be. Motion, just take a second, and I know you want to be a moderator right now. People are going to be idiots in this chat, and I prefer them to be idiots in this chat because you should know who is an uncaring asshole. And then you can make a list. And then you can forever ban them from the channel. Josh, tell us your experience about transitioning. For me, I'm not going to go through the gender affirming surgery. I'm a transgender person in, I guess I'm more of a transvestite than I'm a sweet transvestite. But no, I'm not doing the gender affirming surgery. I'm just a Scotsman. Which I guess is the only way I can really talk about it. I would rather live as a Scotsman than an American man, because a Scotsman understands having your sweaty balls out in public is a glorious thing. There is no greater freedom than the freedom from pants, the freedom from underwear, and living in a place where you can joke and be free around other men. Hello, Boston. I just mentioned you earlier. Hello, Stay. Curtis with the salty language. Wow. Such tough words. Such tough words. What am I going to do with you? What am I going to do? Just want to be rude. But that's okay. I don't mind people being rude. I'd rather you be rude in my channel because I don't fucking care. Uzumaki. Most Scotsmen are straying away from their heritage, their culture, and that's the wrong direction. That's absolutely the wrong direction. You come from Celts. You come from people who lived freely, lived among magic. With a K. Magic. Like, you want that back in your life. You want the health benefits of being a Celt more than you have the British healthcare system. So, oh well. It's not for you to say what a Scot should do or want to do. Of course it isn't. I'm still gonna say it. What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do? I'm still gonna say it. Well, I mean, I could say I want the sky to be blue. And you don't understand what YouTube is. Like, YouTube is just a conveyor belt. What you say goes on and on and on and on. Maybe it goes somewhere, maybe it doesn't. Maybe someone is inspired to just wear easy flowing clothing. I'm not trying to convert people to be transgender. I'm just trying to say to you, when was the last time you just wore a fucking robe and were treated like royalty? Because when you wear pants, you're pretty much saying you're a fucking slave. You're a fucking slave to a suit and tie. You're a fucking slave who's ashamed of their fucking body. I don't agree with that. I don't. Lucas with the math, 4,000 a month. 4,000 a month for every veteran. It's not enough. It's not enough, but it's something. And with that, you could change America forever, for the better. Veterans are good people. Veterans, not all veterans, but the majority of veterans are really, really good people. And then when they come out of the service, like myself, we are forever damaged. I have body dysmorphia because of my time in service. Easy access. When I wear my Scottish kilt, I wish I lived in Scotland, because there are whole pubs that you can go to and the men will just reach and they will give you what you need. They will reach and give you what you need. And I'm not going to be that graphic because there are young people probably in this chat. But that kind of, fun, easygoing fucking philosophy is what I would rather be a part of. I'm a fucking adult and I'm stuck in this stupid fucking town when I want to fucking enjoy my sexual freedom in Scotland. It sucks. It absolutely sucks. $4,000, you would live like a king outside America. $4,000 a month, you can live like a king in America. There are you see, when you live in America, it's so easy to just miss out on things. Like, I missed out by moving to Los Angeles. I moved to Los Angeles because I said I wanted to enjoy the beach. Fuck the beach. If I could live in Wisconsin, in an apartment building or a house, I would be so much happier. Why? Because it is wide open spaces and the people there, they don't give a fucking shit. When I lived in Texas, I lived as a trans woman. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. I had more freedom living in Texas than I do in liberal fucking California. In Los Angeles, I had more freedom in Texas. That tells you everything you need to know. $4,000 a month. Oh, and I'm not including, back pay that veterans would be owed. I'm not including, money for dependents or money for special circumstances. What I'm talking about is change.org/Save American Veterans. That bill I'm trying to propose creates a money flow toward veterans that cuts out that veteran affairs, so all those people are out of the job. Because all they were being paid to do was tell veterans no. $4,000 a month. With $4,000 a month, you could have a 2-bedroom apartment, or you could have a house you can rent or lease. For $4,000 a month, you can have an 8K television that's 100-foot high. For $4,000 a month, you could stack your refrigerator with venison meat, with artesian cheeses. You can feed your family steak as often as you needed or wanted to. You can go on a holiday. You could say to your family, pack up your shit. We're going on a fucking holiday. We're just going to we'll go to fucking Disneyland. Okay? $4,000 a month. We'll ride on all the rides. You'll get souvenirs. You'll get a Harry Potter one from Diagon Alley or Diagon Alley. Diagon Alley. I can't get over you fucking Daniel Radcliffe. It's so cute. It's so Diagon Alley. Oh, I love Harry Potter. I love him. And I still love Daniel Radcliffe. He did so many films and television shows that I've enjoyed. I think he's a phenomenal actor. I really do. Do you see yourself living outside the US, though? I hope I can. I hope I can escape this nonsense. Because it is nonsense to me. I recently did some cord cutting. I shut off my Netflix. I shut off my Crunchyroll because I love my anime. I shut them all off because I am poor. I am poor. And I would watch these shows of fantastic things, of things like Bridgerton, and I would go, ooh, and ah, and ooh, the Duke, or Lord Bridgerton, with your fucking hot, hairy chest and chiseled ass. And I would say, ooh, Lord Bridgerton, and I would take care of certain things. But either way, I would fantasize about a life that wasn't my own. I would fantasize about a life that I could actually live. That Lord Bridgerton, the actor, I don't know your name, sorry. I'm just gonna call you Lord Bridgerton. He's a beautiful man, beautiful man. But there are beautiful men right in front of me all the time. I'm a bisexual person, and I stopped caring about being loved. I stopped caring about being attractive. I'd rather be this miserable, ugly, bearded person with fried hair instead of a handsome, attractive person, because I've been hurt by the United States Air Force. So I cut those cords and I said, I'm going to use the month of June to get back to me, whatever that means. If that means that I will do a complete makeover, maybe that's the case. Or maybe I'll just look at myself in the mirror and say, you are beautiful. And let that be enough. I would love to go on that Star Wars ride. It's been a while since I've been to Disneyland. I would like to go again, but I'd like to go with my family. But instead of going to Disneyland with my family, I have to be alone. I have to suffer like this. I don't like that. No such thing as bisexual man, but there's bi women. Samo, I hate to agree with you, but I think you're a little bit right. A little bit right. Bisexual men, look, if you enjoy having sex with men, you just enjoy it. You may think that you really want a woman, you really don't. Because once you've experienced men, it's hard to go back. Like the thing about bisexual men, it's not as if you can ever go straight completely. It's like you can find the girl of your dreams and say, I'll marry you. You're still gonna run off into the fucking woods to suck a guy off. Because that's what you want. And most bisexual men, they'll swear up and down, oh, it's 50-50 both ways. I'm into both. No, you're not. No, you're not. If you want to make out with girls, fine. You want to fuck girls, fine. But once you fucked a guy, once you had sex with a guy in any way, you're done. That's just what you want. Nobody does it once and says, well, that was weird. No, they say, that was fucking awesome. I want to do it all the time. But sometimes I want to take some breaks. And sometimes, yeah, women are fucking beautiful. As a bisexual person, even with my PTSD, I have to say that out loud. Women are beautiful. And women are wonderful kissers, and they're very passionate. And it's great to guide them toward a earth-shattering orgasm. Because they need it. But like I said, I have PTSD from military sexual trauma, so the door to women has just been closed. Guide them? Ew. How could you say that? Okay, have you ever read 50 Shades of Grey? Like, women sometimes need an older, experienced gentleman to open up their flower and guide them to a sexual awakening, you know, show them pleasures of the flesh that they've never experienced by themselves. So, I don't know. I find it highly erotic to get a woman off. I can't do it right now because I have military sexual trauma, and having a woman even 50 feet away from me causes me to literally scream. But I don't know. If I actually had my disability benefits, maybe I would see a doctor about it and say, you know what? I would like to act on my heterosexuality. Can you help me? Because right now I'm in such a damaged place, in such a fucking terrible city, that I can't do that. Okay. You get a permanent ban for that. See you. And you get a permanent ban for that. Yeah, I don't mind having people be hateful in my chat, but there are limits. There are certainly limits. Beautiful voice, greetings from Russia. Privet. Zenchina. 1,200 to let me eat it from the bag. I will cash up 300 right now as proof of how serious I am. Well, thank you. My cash app is actually in my description if you feel in any way inclined to do so. Thank you so much for being so caring, I guess. Wow, there must have been something going on in the channel. Motion, people are rude. You know, people are hurting. You know, if you come into a transgender person's chat just to be a rude person, it's because you're angry at something, and I feel bad for you. I do. People are cruel. I don't know what else to say. Be a decent person when others are cruel. There, I said that. That reminds me, change.org/Kentucky needs you. It's a petition I have where if you care about America, you should care about rural Kentucky landowners who have their water supply threatened by Senate Bill 89. The petition that I have is there to protect their water rights and protect their ability to live as independently as they see fit. Trans veteran here, he identifies as a veteran, but I don't know if you saw, but I actually, you know, I can just bring that up again. Ugh. I am a veteran. Let's see. You can stare at that. All right, and this is what you get. This is what you get. See that? It's an official seal. Official seal. Anyone else got some shit to say? Anyone? Engineer XIlyana, avionics, integrated avionics, so communications, navigation. I don't know what to tell you. That's all I'm gonna offer. You don't get to know any more than that. That's all. It's not my job. Well, I mean, it's not currently my job. the nomenclature for your MOS? Are you referring to 2A7AP, my actual AFS as my Air Force specialty code? Is that what you're looking for? Bye. British. I mean, I have a British accent, but I mean, it's not like that. I mean, I'm not a Southern Brit. I mean, that would be rude. Would you date a straight man? I would date a man who loves me. I would date a man who cares about himself, who cares about his community. That's what I would date. Whether or not he's heterosexual or not, I don't think people understand what love really is. Because sometimes love isn't romantic or physical. Maybe love is just having a really decent friend. Maybe a date is more than what we think it is. Because when we think about dates, we normally think about, well, are you going to make out at the end of the date? Are you going to have sex at the end of the date? You go on dates all the time. If you go out with your friends, that's a date. If you have a best friend that you sit at a table for two for and then share a plate together, that's a date. You may not consider yourself a homosexual because you're not sucking the dick right afterwards, but you love that person. And there's nothing wrong with a man loving another man. It's rare to find love anywhere. Find love, find true love. And your true love may not be the gender you think it is. Sometimes you just have a connection with someone and you have to look past that. As I try to look past all of the damage to my hair and how I don't feel attractive right now. I don't feel attractive. Oh well. Have a decent heart. That's what I look for. I look for a partner that has a decent heart, that I could build something with. I could see a future. My last boyfriend, we shared so much together. And he asked me to marry him. I asked him to marry me. We were fighting all the time, and I wanted a future. I wanted a future with him. But I had to respect myself. So I chose me. You looks good, Ian. Your looks good. Thank you. Let's see if I can get some light in here. I wish I was cute. I mean, here I have this leather harness and my beautiful dog and my burned fingers because I have PTSD, but I don't date. I don't try to put myself out there. I have this dog which tries to clean me all the time. But she's a good girl. I know I have to, Prime. It's that I can't afford it. I can't afford food. I actually had to go to 7-Eleven and I couldn't afford anything. Like, even the smallest things were more money than what I had. So I walked out with the least that I could afford, which isn't a meal, and I won't be eating for 2 days, it seems. And that doesn't make sense. I hope I do find love, because as much as I want to find love, I want to love someone. I want someone I can cherish, and I want to protect someone. I want to make someone smile and be the reason that they do. I want to make someone happy. And for no other reason than they deserve to be happy. And that is what I want. I do have a job. My job is repairing America. It's a thankless job. You could tell by the amount of hate that I receive that it's a thankless job, but it's the one that's assigned to me as a veteran. I have to try and save my people, even the ones who hate me. I have to try and save them. Save them from oppression, save them from government manipulation and abuse, save them from loneliness, save them from poor health. You don't think that's a job? Who do you think is folding the proteins for the vaccine for COVID? This veteran actually had to sit at a computer and fold the proteins because there was a lipid that was in the way that they couldn't actually attach it to the sigma protein of the COVID virus. So that's what I had to do. That's a job in public health that I had to do because I wanted to protect my people. How is Clint? Clint is doing some rough times. He actually burned himself in his forge. Oh, what a coincidence. He burned himself, I burned myself. This is what happens when you're an empath. You take on the pain of other people. My powers must be evolving as a witch, a charmed one. Which, by the way, I don't care. I'm gonna have to do a fucking reboot of that. That's a show that just needs to be permanently on the air. Because people need to remember the fact that they're witches and not just slaves in suit and ties. Akram. That is really rude. That's all right. I I've just learned to move on with my life from people who say stuff like that. It's the only attitude you can have. You can have the attitude that people will love you or they're supposed to love you. And it's no, if you don't love me, you don't love me. There are things I tolerate and things that I do not. I do not tolerate that. Healthy attitudes are hard to find. It's hard to find people who can see the worst in society and still come out a decent person. I talked about Master Sergeant Ramon Jones earlier in this podcast, and as much as he was a jerk to me and constantly called me out for being a person who reads, I remember one time where he was giving a briefing and I was bored out of my mind. So I started reading. The only thing I really could read was the Air Force Handbook of the abridged version of the Uniform Code of Military Justice. And he took such offense, he actually sent me out of the classroom and had me stand in a hall while two people stared at me. I just didn't care. I didn't care. I still don't. I was bored. I was absolutely bored. I joined the military because I said, if I'm going to be an aeronautical engineer, then I should put myself through this. When I didn't think that, well, I'm already an engineer, why don't I just go to engineering school? Except I couldn't afford it. And I couldn't afford medical school, which is what I really wanted. But oh well. Are you homeless? I'm at risk of homelessness, as in within, I think, like 2 or 3 months, I haven't paid rent. So they're going to say, okay, well, we have a right to evict you. And I have a right to say thank you because anything to fucking get out of this apartment. You know, this is an apartment building that has had nothing but women terrorize me. Women try to break into my apartment, homeless women fucking camping out in our lobby. I have PTSD, you know. I just, whatever. I suffer from that. I see more negative than the positive side. Samo is new to the channel, so I'm trying to step up of putting the really bad trolls in their place. But for the most part, you know, if you can respect my mod, then yeah, we'll be fine. Be a rude person, but you know, whatever. But be kind to motion. Do you have a boyfriend? No. No, I don't have a boyfriend, and I haven't had a boyfriend in a long time. It's been, I want to say, like 2 years since my last boyfriend and I broke up. And I guess he was a fiance, so my ex-fiance. He gave me a ring, he bought me a ring. And it hurts because even through the bad times, that was the closest anyone has ever come to loving me. It was an abusive relationship, but that was the closest anyone has ever loved me. I deserve to be loved. I deserve to love someone, but I'm emotionally damaged. I'm psychologically damaged. No one wants to love that. That's how it was for me in Knoxville, Tennessee. Why aren't you working? Because I have PTSD from military sexual trauma and other physical injuries from my military service. Have you ever thought you may be the reason you're single? Of course I'm the reason I'm single. I'm a bearded guy who doesn't fucking brush his teeth. Doesn't. Well, I don't wear deodorant. I bathe constantly, scouring my own skin, but I don't wear deodorant. I smell and reek. And in certain circles, men would find that very attractive. I just don't put myself out to speak to them. Who isn't damaged at this point? You don't go on a date because you're perfect. You go on a date because you know that there's a piece of you that's missing, and sometimes you can find that within yourself, and sometimes you find that in another person, and you share the gift of life together. At least you bathe. That's a plus. I don't know if that's offensive or not. I'm just going to chalk it up to I'm exhausted. And normally, I don't do podcasts for this long, but why not? Why not talk to people? I have this whole channel, and I almost feel as if people never get a chance to know me. And if you're going to be a part of this channel, and I hope you subscribed, I hope you consider liking and subscribing to this channel, because I care. I care about other people. I care about people like you. So if you have a problem, you let me know, because if I can help, I will. Welcome, Saul. Soul is... I'm so bad at this. I don't know how to read. I'm fucking English and I don't know how to read. Why? Soul. Bro, what the hell are you yapping about? Well, currently I'm talking about the fact that I am single, and I want kisses. I want kisses. I want someone to play the guitar to and sing, and someone to love. But I live in LA, and I'm just miserable here because I don't want to date LA people. I want a cowboy. I want to date a cowboy. The boyfriend I was referring to, my ex-fiance, he was a southerner, a nice, good country boy. So cute. And he was a Native American like myself, so we had lots to talk about. Your teeth look amazing. Probably because I don't eat a lot of sugar and I eat really healthy, so I can use my bad breath to tell women to fucking back off without losing teeth. And I hate that it's come to that I have to physically repel them, but just in the case of the woman who was harassing me on the bus, I'm not going to punch a woman for fucking being an annoying cunt. I'm going to just breathe in her face and let her realize the error of trying to speak to me. And that's a shitty thing to fucking say, but the VA has left me no choice. You know, if they're not going to fucking pay me, I'm going to defend myself in the only way I know how. You're going to smell the most foul thing coming out of my fucking mouth. And if that keeps you away, good. Gay? I don't know if you can really be considered gay if you haven't done anything with a guy in as many years as I have. I think at a certain point they just say, can we take your homosexual card? Can we take your homosexual card? You haven't even touched a guy, let alone talked to a guy. Yeah, you're not homosexual. You might as well. I'm almost asexual. Almost. I still hold out hope. I think if a kid grows up in a stable household, there's a good chance he'll live a good life. I kind of agree with that. I do. I think that there are several people who are gay or lesbian or transgender who make great parents. Mostly because, they rescue these kids from meth addicts and people who neglect their kids. And then they give them good homes and then put them through violin lessons or ballet lessons. And usually by that point, you're in a stable relationship. So these kids come out alive. They come out alive saying, I've got two moms or I've got two dads or, my mom is a trans woman or something like that. But they come out saying, I come from a home where I was loved. And I like to hear that. I like to hear that these kids are guaranteed to have meals, a house over their head, an education, and love. The kind of family that says, I will spend time reading you a bedtime story. I will spend time pretending to be a ninja if it makes you happy and encourages you to use your imagination. Gay, lesbian, and transgender parents are just great parents. Nothing against straight people, but when you fight for adoption, you fight for the right to share your life with another person. That means something. A little bit more than, oops, I did it again. I got pregnant. I don't know what to do. So I gave the kid up for adoption because I don't want to be dealt with that. It means something. It's not a good thing to have breath. I agree. But what am I supposed to do? I legitimately do not have my disability benefits. So I can't go live in a house where I could respect myself enough to just take care of myself. And then I live in a town where I have women trying to jump me every single chance they get. Now, some people use pepper spray. I prefer an all-natural deterrent to bitches. And I call you a fucking bitch if when I ignore you, you decide to grab my genitals without asking, without my permission, without my consent. You do that. So, like I said, I would get so much heat for turning around and slapping someone for sexually assaulting me, as LA has sexually assaulted me. LA with this stupid, we stand up against hate. We stand up against hate. It's like sexual assault is a hate crime. But LA allows it. So I'm not going to punch that woman for doing that. But she did have to smell something. Ben Morgan, if you want a town where the women are more horny than the men, that's LA. These women are irradiated monsters here who have no problem being sexually aggressive. I don't say assertive, I say aggressive. Because it is aggressive of any person of any gender to just roll up to a complete stranger and grab their genitals. on a bus. Motion, I'm sorry to hear that happened to your grandfather. I really am. He's absolutely within his right to defend himself, but in the eyes of the law, it is always, unless your life is really in danger, unless your life is really in danger, you are limited. And as a man with a military background, it is infuriating the things I have to put up with, because I say, you don't want people to see that side of you. You don't want people to see the military side of you. You'd rather let them see you as a transgender person skipping through town than see you as the military cold machine that would destroy a person. Because once they see you as that, they will never see you as human again. Motion, you described exactly what I'm talking about. They have a thing in the police, and it's pretty much the letter of the law. It's called appropriate force. Trump 2028. But once again, I am sorry for your grandfather. And if your grandfather is still alive, do something nice for your grandfather. Do something really nice. I'm going to ask you to do this as a decent person. Speak to your grandfather and do something really, really nice for them. Okay, I will give you my thoughts if you don't spam that. And my thoughts are, it is unconstitutional for Trump to be president. However, if the will of the people throughout everything he has done is that he is their leader, should I go further with this? Should I go further? If you change the Constitution for Donald Trump, wow. I like Donald Trump. I do. Wow. I can't believe I even read that. Wow. What has happened to America? Does America just like having a daddy? The whole point of changing out presidents is you change ideas, you change philosophies. When you change those philosophies, you get a different nation. Should we talk politics and religion on here? We can always talk politics and religion on here. I think we have to talk politics and religion on here. Because if we just talk about my PTSD and my lack of disability benefits, we don't have much to talk about. It's an important thing to me, but that's it. We should be talking about the state of our country. But that might be something we discuss on a future chat. Thank you, everyone, for coming in. Thank you, Motion, for being such a good moderator. My name is XIlyana. Please like, subscribe, and enjoy my channel. We will have another podcast, and I hope to see you there.